Just watched Insecure. Let's get right into it. So the episode starts off with basically everyone who lives at the apartment complex at Issa's front door mad because she forgot to give them the 24-hour notice that the water was gonna be turned off. And I was sitting here thinking, like, wondering what was the purpose, what was the point of that scene. And I'm like, oh, it must be to show that Issa is still struggling with time management and juggling responsibilities, because they joke about her not having a job, but really she does. Being the apartment manager is her job, regardless of if she's planning that big block party or whatever. And yeah, like they said, a part of her job is to give a 24-hour notice. Long story short, she's still struggling with juggling her responsibilities. I don't know why she let all them people walk up in her apartment though, but hey. So at the end of the episode from last week, episode 3, we saw Condola and Lawerence having a discussion about, I guess, how serious they are or may not be, and how Condola actually may be a bit more insecure about Lawerence's friendship, if you will, with Issa than she'd previously let on. I'm curious as to if there was a conversation about Condola possibly not wanting to work with Issa anymore on the block party, because it kind of seemed like she was ignoring her or just being like distant. So maybe she might be starting to try to pull away. Who knows, because Condola wasn't on this episode at all, and I'm curious what Lawerence was going to say to her at Tiffany and Derek's house, but they didn't get there yet. But moving on to Molly and Andrew coming over to her apartment while she needed to finish stuff for work. I didn't know how to feel about that, because part of me wanted to be like, why didn't she just tell him not to come over because she still had a lot of work to finish? Or she could have just told him that he could come over and chill if he wanted to, but she did have work to do. Like, she gives too much in her relationships, both romantically and platonically. Because just for her to go in the bedroom and then be like, oh, she got to finish work, I don't know. It just would have been better if she just told him to stay home or chill until she finished her work. But I guess maybe it's not that big of a deal. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. But Molly just be kind of backwards sometimes, because in comparison to the next moment I'm about to talk about, she should have told him not to come over that night if she had work to do. But then, because they wasn't really doing anything. But then when she was supposed to leave work to go to a listening party with him, she cancels to stay and do work when her co-workers were like, no, I thought you had to go to I thought you had plans. So it wasn't like she couldn't have gone. Sometimes she just be trying to prove too much to people, like, go to your listening party, like that's a big deal, you know. Somebody will be all excited to go to a listening party, and then here you come at the last minute talking about you can't go, and your colleagues already said, bye bitch, go to the party, you good. But she wanna stick around just to prove that her man understands. Apparently not. And I'm not saying drop everything for a man. It's just she's backwards. She should have went to the listening party and left work early. But the night before when they hung out, told him to stay home because she had work to do. That makes sense. And it's funny. I forgot about Nathan. this season, season 4, and now he's trying to come. Now he's trying to pop back up, calling Issa. And then when I listened to the voicemail message he left, immediately I thought to myself, toxic nigga. What did he call it? Why did he feel the need to say, oh, you don't have to call me back, but she wasn't gonna call you back if she didn't want to, when you know that. Because when you was acting a fool a couple months ago and you finally decide to show up or whatever, she ain't call you. So you don't need to. I feel like that's like reverse psychology. Oh, you don't need to call me back. Because you know sometimes women don't like to be told what to do. She might find herself like, oh, let me call this nigga since he trying to tell me not to call him. Because Issa do be that way sometimes. I'm curious to find out more about Tiffany and Derek's relationship, because Amanda Seales, the actress who plays Tiffany on when they were talking about Insecure on The Real, she said that Tiffany is gonna go through some things this season. Now, if you are a major Insecure fan like me, you might remember all the way back on season 1 in the jacuzzi when they went to Malibu for Kelly's birthday. Tiffany said something about issues she may have been having with Derek. Fast forward to season 4, episode 4. Derek tells Lawerence that they were supposed to go on a plane. A baby wasn't in the plans. They were supposed to go traveling the world and having fun, which, having knowledge of what she said in season 1, leads me to believe that maybe they were supposed to travel the world together to rediscover each other. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tiffany got pregnant on purpose to save the relationship, or try to, because the baby won't save a relationship if the nigga's already mentally gone. But that's another story. That's another tea. So they'll probably talk more about Tiffany and Derek's relationship later on in the season, in the second half of the season. I wonder, do y'all think Issa's gonna call Nathan back? Why he trying to act like he just found out about that block party and him and Andrew's roommates? He knew about that block party. He didn't just hear about it. That's why doesn't matter. And Issa and Molly's friendship. Issa and Molly's relationship. I'm gonna just say it. Molly is jealous of Issa. Half of y'all immediately said, what does she have to be jealous of Issa for? Issa ain't got no job, she ain't got no man, while Molly has a great, well-paying job and a new man. Oh, sweetheart. The other half thought, oh yeah, absolutely, it makes total sense. Although Molly may have like a generally renowned career, not job, career, I don't know, it just always seems like there's something going on at work that she's not happy with, which may be an adult thing. Like, nobody's always going to be happy with their job, their career, but I almost would bargain that she's not happy as a lawyer and she just chose that job to prove that a little black girl from the hood could do it. I may be thinking too deeply about her character, but whereas Issa, I think she's jealous of Issa's free-spirited personality and how she allows herself the freedom to be free and do what she wants, like quitting her job, like planning this block party that at first seemed ridiculous but now seems to be coming together quite nicely. It's like she starting stuff for no reason. I will say that in the past, Molly is always there for Issa emotionally, physically, no matter what Molly's doing. If Issa calls her and she needs her to talk about any ridiculous thing or to go walk around Lawerence's job 50 times and spy, Molly is there. She's a ride or die friend in that sense. And Issa has not shown her that same camaraderie. Whenever Molly calls her, if Issa doing something, she don't stop for whatever Molly going through. It is what it is. Call you back, sis, or not. And Molly doesn't do that. She's always there for her. So I will say that. But I feel like it's that weird thing between single girlfriends where it's like not a competition, but it's like mini spats and arguments about who who did was stupider than this friend or that friend. Like, oh, this nigga did blah blah blah, but this friend feels like what her nigga did was not as bad as what her friends dude did. I feel like that's kind of what they're going through. They're both judging each other, like they're thinking that the other one is doing something stupid, but what they're doing is not as ridiculous as what that friend is doing. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, who cares who's doing something more ridiculous? It's not, because they're both not where they want to be, and both of their actions may not be working for them to go towards the direction that they want to go. And it was just weird when Molly was like, oh, she was just trying to let her know how happy it made her to hear that Derek did whatever. It was just like, what? Obviously Issa was joking. That's how they talk. That's how she is. Obviously she was joking. And then she tried to make her feel bad, like, oh, last week, talking about they decided that whatever baby clothes go wherever they go. Why are you trying to make her feel stupid for not being like, people need to understand that what's important to them is not always important to the next person. You trying to make Issa feel bad that you were there last week and you know where the baby clothes go and she wasn't, so she doesn't. Who cares? That's like elementary drama. Like, oh, you don't know that she doesn't use her strawberry shortcake pencil case anymore because you weren't here last week on Tuesday, but I was, and I know that now she's only using her Lisa Frank pencil case. Who cares? You think it's not important to Issa that she was not there last week to know that baby Simone's clothes go wherever they go? And then she's like that perceivably smart friend who thinks they know everything but don't really understand how things truly work. Like, oh, that's another reason why I say she's jealous. She felt some type of way about Issa outside talking to Lawerence. I feel like a typical friend who's not hating would be like, ooh, girl, I see you out there talking to Lawerence. Because it's not like Lawerence played her, she played him. So what would be the problem with her talking to her ex, who she spent 5 years with, who many times Molly said she thought was a good man? She was mad because she feels like, she was mad because every man in her life, when he got a new chick, Molly ain't thought about. But she mad that Lawerence is captivated with Issa, even though she cheated on him. And Molly feels like there is nothing Issa can do to make a man want to leave her alone. I could be wrong. I could be thinking about it too deeply. That's just my thought about it. And then she making faces and making noises, thinking that Issa is sneaking off and lying to go run off and do what with Lawerence. That's because that's what she would do. She would lie to her friends and sneak off to go sleep with Dro. Issa doesn't. Issa, she don't drop everything at the drop of a dime for a dude. That's what Molly does, and she refuses to acknowledge that she don't. That's the she subconsciously is envious that in spite of her quirks, Issa has higher standards than her. When Daniel started acting up when she moved in with him, she checked him and she moved out of there. When Nathan stopped calling, then randomly decided to show up with whatever he said was his reason for leaving, she didn't say, "Oh, it's okay," and apologize for not being understanding, which is what Molly did. She said, "Bye, boo. You're an adult. You need to explain yourself. That's not fair to treat someone that you're involved with that way." And Molly just doesn't do that. And I don't even think it's something that she's conscious of, but subconsciously she knows that she's jealous that Issa has higher standards for herself. Another example, Molly canceling on Andrew for Tiffany's baby. I hate to be tit for tat, but sometimes when you are bending over backwards for people, you have to think about what they would do for if the shoe was on the other foot. Tiffany would have been gone if she had a little date with her husband Derek, not even a dude who she's trying to secure. She would have been gone. You good with that baby. Blessings, good luck, bye-bye. She gonna cancel to do what? Watch the baby sleep and fold clothes? Nah. You could go back over there and do that tomorrow. Go out with your man, girl. And stop canceling on him at the last minute. And this is another example of Issa not being there the way Molly is typically there for her. Well, she called her, and poor Molly, I won't say poor Molly because she be doing some dirt too, but Issa called Molly, and Molly was so excited, like, oh, she's finally calling to talk. She started to share her feelings about work with her, and Issa, she didn't even pretend to listen. She didn't even pretend to care. She was like, oh, well, boo-boo, I need a favor. That man you been talking about, Asian Bay, hit him up and see if he can get this new performer for my block party. I guess you could say Issa don't really think all the time too. She didn't even talk to, like, how you gonna not talk to your friend for a whole month? Really? It's not even like y'all was on super good terms. It was already weird. Y'all haven't really talked for a month, and then you calling her, asking her to ask her dude for a favor. The same dude that a month ago you were telling her to not be the old Molly, that a month ago you were telling her to not be the old Molly and do too much, ask for too much, say too much. Now you want her to ask him for a favor? What? No. And I don't think Molly was wrong in telling her that she was not going to ask him. Of course Issa's gonna think foul about it. Like, oh, why would she not help when she knows how important the block party is to her, and she could. You know what she should do? Go up to Live Nation. I don't know how easy it is to get in there, but go up to Live Nation and ask Andrew yourself. Anyways, that's my thoughts on Insecure Season 4, Episode 4. Tell me what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Thanks. Bye.